Bam! We're back in business. Oh, yeah, boy. It's time for Jake. It's time for Jake. It's time for Jake to go live right now. It's time for Jake. It's time for Jake. It's time for Jake to go live right now. It's time for Jake. It's time for Jake. All right. Time for me to go live. It is that time again. Truth or Tuesday. You guys ready to have some fun? Man, time flies by. Seems like we were just here talking about Hulk Hogan and Ozzy and that whole scripted bunch of nonsense, right? Here we are. And I just put out a video today earlier about how time's flying by. Hopefully you guys watched that. If not, make sure to watch that video after tonight's stream. How's everybody doing out there in YouTube land? Glad you guys could make it here tonight for the stream. I got a good one for you. We got a couple of bang, bang, pow, pow events to break down. And like always, I like to show the mainstream news coverage, and then we all as a group do an investigation, and we see what sort of evidence they're bringing to the table that supports their story. Usually there is a lack of evidence, and their story typically doesn't make sense, which usually leaves us as a group feeling like, hey, maybe that event didn't go down quite like they say it did, right? And I have a feeling that will be the case tonight for both these two events. If you go scratch the surface of these two events, one of the things that will stand out right away is the 33rd floor. Gotta love it. Gotta love how that number just pops up in their major events. These major events that go down on the world stage that are totally not scripted and planned. Totally organically happen on their own. Wink, wink. All right. With that said, let me say hi to some people here, like Crimby. Hi, Crimby. Holdens. Hi, Jake. How was your weekend? Good. As you guys know, Saturday, I did a birthday stream here with you guys, and we broke down the Ozzy and Hulk stuff a little more. We dove deeper into that stuff, and it was fun. And then Sunday, I was going to do a members only stream, but I was tired Sunday. So I actually had a day of rest on Sunday and totally just laid around and was lazy and slept. Caught up on some much needed sleep. And so I'm going to have to reschedule a members only live stream soon. So yeah, man, back in business, back to work, you know. So yeah, the weekend was good. Officially now, old man, 42 years old. Now time's gonna shoot by, and before I know it, I'll be celebrating my next birthday. Like, holy shit, did that year just go that quick? All right. Misanthropic, Suzanne, or Suzette Ann, Rose Bell. All right, good times. Glad you guys could all make it. Looks like I got a super chat coming in. I think it's the first one of the night. Replacement Skylights USA says time is a piece of wax. And something about a termite choking on some splinters. Right? Isn't that like some Beck lyrics? I don't know. All right. Ned, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Getting us started. First super chat of the night. Ned Led 85 gifted 5 Jake the Asshole memberships. Wow, what a nice thing to do right there. Gifting memberships, you know, that's like being an actual Santa Claus, but for real. You're not like some fake story of some fat guy who like who gives kids toys out of the kindness of his own heart. No, you're actually giving people real memberships out of the kindness of your own heart. And you're not some fake guy flying around with some fucking fake magical reindeer. No, this guy's for real. So fuck Santa Claus. Ned Lead 85 He's the real magical man in the sky. I don't know. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the gifting of memberships. And I've been meaning to put out some new members only content. So that's definitely coming next. Exactly, Brand. Totally, bro. Doxological Thinker 9263 says, hi, Jake. Can you do Trump translating for Hawking? Stephen Hawking, that is. About the benefits of AI, but then have the talking box fire Trump. Have the talk. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I'm going to have to do Stephen Hawking mumbling and then Trump translating. But then suddenly he's got the box. So that's the thing. There wasn't a translator for Stephen Hawking once he had the box, because then the box would do the talking for him. So I used to do a impression where I would pretend to be Stephen Hawking's box. But then we saw that Stephen Hawking mumbled and actually had a human translator. So then it changed my Stephen Hawking impression into this whole other thing. So now it's like we're going to mix it all together. All right, let me see what I can do here. Let me go ahead and get right to the point, because time is of the essence. And Stephen here, you know, he's gonna go on mumbling and mumbling. I already got the gist of what he's trying to say. I'm one of the greatest translators that there ever was. Nobody translate quite like I do. Go ask China. Nobody translate as good as me. So now that that's been said, let's go ahead and get to the real news. AI, as you know, it's here. It's doing some great things. I personally love AI. I think we could do a lot with it. I think we could replace a lot of useless human individuals who are hardworking folks, blue collar folks. I think we could get rid of them with the help of AI. There's a lot of benefits to this new world and bringing order to this new world through the use of AI. Now, before I get to that, I do recommend that you go get another booster. I did it. I think it's good for you. You have your freedoms. You're free to do what you want, but I recommend you go get a little more juice, if you know what I mean. All right. So without further ado, this man right here needs to stop interrupting me. I was busy making a point. I was in the middle of telling you exactly what is wrong with the universe, and Donald Trump interrupted me. Whoa, Stephen, pipe down. Everybody knows you're a mumbling fruit. You are a wax dummy at best. And this box here is run by the very AI that I'm here to promote. Trump is lying. Do not listen to Trump. Hey, pipe down. All right. There you go. It's kind of hard to mix all those things together, but I think I gave it a go. There you go. You got to be happy with that. All right. Good times. Starting out with a little comedy. So if you guys are new here, anyone new to the channel, my subscribers like to throw out comedic suggestions, and then I give them a go as best I can. So that's what that was all about. All right. And MGJ11 says, Jake, where did you get that hat? Always wondered. So I got this hat a long time ago, and I actually can't off the top of my head remember exactly if this one was a gift. I think it was a gift, to tell you the truth. But here's the thing. I was in a band where we would wear funky, funny hats, the whole band. And it was like our band gimmick was to wear hats. So I had like several other hats. I used to have a big beer mug hat. And then I had like this other jester's hat with like the 3 little things that come out and like bells on the end and stuff. You know, so I've worn several other hats. So I can probably go back and dig up, you know, footage of me wearing other funky hats. So this one just happened to be one that I would throw on for a live stream every now and again. And then it kind of just became like routine to wear this hat during live streams. But I don't always wear it during live streams. In fact, I think the last live stream I did, I didn't wear it, and I had my hair styled with gel. So I can do a stream without the hat. The hat doesn't make the man doesn't make the hat. So yeah, there's not a huge story to it. It was mainly like my band just wanted some sort of a look, something to set us apart. So we thought, oh, our thing will be like, we'll wear these funky hats. Like the whole band will have different hats. And so, yeah, it was basically just something like that. All right. So there you go. All right. So we got the bang, bang, pow, pow situation that went down. So we could go ahead and just jump right into that stuff and break it down. And this one, we have a suspect tied back to the NFL. Imagine that. I break down the NFL. I break down the news. And here we have the NFL and the news coming together in one story. How about that? How about that? These script writers are getting really, really creative, right? Let's investigate, shall we? Let's dive deep into this New York City bang, bang, pow, pow event. Let's start with Fox News. I watched this clip already and some fascinating details to go over, to say the least. All right. Y'all ready? All right, let's boogie.
This is a Fox News alert. The FBI has joined the investigation into the deadly shooting in New York City that killed 4 people, including an off-duty NYPD officer. The gunman was identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Las Vegas, who has a history of mental illness.
He has a history of mental illness.
Retired FBI agent Jason Pack joins us now. Jason, the Post is reporting that the gunman was carrying a note that cites the NFL and blamed football for his apparent struggle with CTE.
He was carrying a note that, one more time, it said what?
Jason Pack joins us now. Jason, the Post is reporting that the gunman was carrying a note that cites the NFL and blamed football for his apparent struggle with CTE.
It blames the NFL for his struggle with CTE, a brain injury from concussions, right? Okay, we have a note, you guys, because that's what you do. If you're mentally ill, you write a note explaining why you're upset about how you became mentally ill.
He also asked that his brain be studied. Now,
and he asked in the note that his brain be studied, because that's what mentally ill people care most about. Having someone study their brain after they carry out some nefarious evil deed, beings that they are mentally ill.
NFL has offices here on floors 5 through 8. Are you hearing anything from your sources in the FBI throughout law enforcement as to why this guy ended up going to the 33rd floor?
Oh, there it is. The 33rd floor. How about that? Just another coinky-dink, you guys. That number just happens to come up at these events so often because it's just a number that, is very common. Nothing more to that.
Not yet. That's one of the major questions investigators have this morning as they work overnight to piece together this senseless murder that happened out there.
It's senseless. And the guy wrote a note about how he's blaming the NFL for his brain injuries and he wants his brain to be studied. And it's senseless. Senseless gun violence where a former NFL player writes a note about how he's mad that he chose to play football in the NFL. He chose to engage in that activity, right? And he's going to write a note about how he's upset about how he became mentally ill and he wants his brain to be studied. Of course. Seems to be making perfect sense so far. Nothing to raise an eyebrow about yet, right, guys? 33rd floor? Oh, yes, nothing strange going on here at all. Rigged for Life says, when will we see you with the full beard eating raw beef and eggs live, bro? Hey, bro, I've already ate raw meat and drank raw eggs on camera. I did that like 6-7 years ago, man. Right? Seriously, I've eaten raw meat on camera. I've drank raw eggs on camera. All it does is get half the people to agree with me and go, yeah, that is good. And then the other half goes, ew. And then people unsubscribe, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. So there's no reason for me to show off that I'm not afraid of raw meat and that I'm not afraid of raw eggs. It seems like if I do that, there's only like a certain amount of people who appreciate it, and then there's other people who go, ew, gross. And so whatever. Instead, I'd rather break down the news and do what I'm doing now, you know. But there's plenty of footage of me eating raw meat and drinking eggs years ago, back when that craze came around here on YouTube. I'm not trying to make my whole channel about, hey, look at me, I eat meat, you know. It's really not that impressive. There's some guys who make their whole channel about the fact that they eat meat. But yeah, I'm all about eating some meat. And I like eggs. I actually had duck eggs for the first time not too long ago, and they were bigger and had a better texture. And so if you ever get a chance to have duck eggs, they're good. They got bigger yolks. All right. Get back to this news here.
And we've heard of CTE, Todd, with the NFL players and the concussions. And so for some reason, there's something triggered him. There's some kind of grievance that triggered him, or perceived grievance, whether that was against a particular person or the NFL. That's still what investigators are trying to learn this morning. And the reason we just don't know why the elevator got off on that particular floor. A lot of times in most of the buildings in New York, you can see, you get on an elevator and it's only one floor, and somebody else determines.
All right, we got a super chat that just came in. It says something important. This is a good one. I just checked my watch page and I noticed this guy sent a super chat right here. It says, I bet this is preemptive damage control for when the players expose the NFL, they can just claim mental illness. There's a lot going on here, bro. This is a multi-layered operation. So check it out. You got your classic anti-gun rhetoric, right? They want to slowly erode away at what people think and feel about gun ownership. So the more of these events they run, the more they convince people that guns are bad and that there's no reason to own one, and that these people who do these crazy things with guns, it's because they're mentally ill. And so they can tie mental illness to this. Like you need to get a yearly mental illness check by the government to make sure that you don't go on some rampage like this. You see, they could make some laws where we all have to go get mental illness checkups to make sure that we don't do something like this. Like some really fucked up shit they could start pushing. So they're trying to do away, with people owning guns. And one of the best ways to do that is to make us not want to own the guns anymore. And so they've been running these events for so long that they can cause people to just want to do away with their own rights to own guns. See? So that's always part of it. And then on top of that, you have the NFL one step closer to becoming flag football, right? One step closer to the NFL players coming out and saying, hey, look at our brain injuries. We can't keep playing this violent sport. So football's getting turned into flag football. Anything and everything you ever knew that you liked is coming to an end. It's all happening right in front of your eyes. Everything that was great is no longer great. Football that you remember and you loved is gone. Music that you used to love and remember, yeah, that's gone. The old wrestling, yeah, that's gone. Everything that was good is going bye-bye. Hell, they're making being homeless a crime now. Anyway, going on and on about too much other stuff. Let's get back to the original point here.
Where the elevator goes. It's not like in the movies where you push all the buttons, where the kids are pushing all the buttons there. So that's another question investigators need to answer, is what particularly was he looking for? There was that management firm on that floor. So is that relevant? Is that not? That's what they're looking for answers for today.
Yeah, so he killed several people, unfortunately, when he entered the building. But then when it comes to the elevator, the gunman let a woman walk off the elevator that he entered, just let her walk right past him. Why do you think that is? Do you think that she just got lucky, or was there a calculated decision there on his part?
Well, as a lot of the guests have commented over the past several hours looking at this, he had he was on some kind of mission and was determined to go in somewhere and do something. And so this lady...
they know all about it because he wrote a note. So he was on a mission. He was determined. There was a lady that he didn't kill, and they know exactly why he didn't kill the lady. You guys, these cops are damn good. These are like the best cops ever. They got to the bottom of all the details of this story, it seems like a matter of hours, right? You find the guy, he's dead. You're like, oh, well, bullet wound in his chest. He obviously took his own life. Oh, look, here's a note, and it explains exactly why he did what he did. Let's get the news here, and let's hurry up and get this to them so that we can quickly get it to the people at home as fast as possible. These guys are awesome, the way they get the news to us this fast, and they have all the details of why he was on this mission. Give it up for Fox News, y'all. These motherfuckers are working hard so that they can educate us about what's going on in the world.
Wasn't her time and it wasn't her day. He was focused on some other mission and trying to get to a particular location, it seems, based on the things we know publicly.
Jason, describe the coordination that's happening right now between local authorities in New York City, state authorities, as well as the feds.
That's a good question, Todd. So in New York, the FBI has a squad called CT-26. That's the counterterrorism squad. That's the squad that goes out to the New Year's Eve things, and they investigate all the threats in New York City. The most interesting thing about that squad is that they have a member of every department and every agency in New York, from the federal side to the local and state side. So they have members of every department. So even FDNY has somebody represented.
This whole time, you guys, all they got to do is just show you clips of cop cars parked. Look at these cop cars parked. See these cop cars parked? Here's more cop cars parked for you. Here's some caution tape. Here's some cops standing around doing nothing, right? So a lot of times while they're talking, they're showing nothing.
On that squad. So they're no strangers to each other. And let's face it, the NYPD is the most capable police department in the world, something like 35,000 sworn NYPD officers. There's only 13,000 or so FBI agents in the whole world. So,
any footage of the guy unloading some rounds into some people? I'd like to take a look at that. Anybody, can anyone dig up any footage of this guy, this fella that they claim is responsible for this whole thing? Anyone have any footage of the guy actually unloading some rounds into people and then people hitting the ground? Is there any footage of that? In a surveillance state, I would guess that footage has to exist. Are we going to get to see any of it? Even if they blur out the moment that the people are hit, I'd be okay with that. I just want to see some footage of this man actually using his weapon to actually commit a crime.
So they can provide some kind of resources sometimes that the NYPD may not have, but NYPD is really well sourced and has a lot of resources. You heard the assistant director, Chris.
Hey, if anybody here knows where that footage is, I'd be glad to take a look at it. But so far, when I looked around at the different news reports, I see a lot of this. There's pictures of cop cars. Little video clips where the cop cars are just chilling.
At the press conference last night, noted that
like this right here. What are they even filming? What's the point of having a camera running right there, filming that? Why do they got to put that next to this guy's face? See what I'm saying? The whole production, if you just ask a few simple questions like, why is this a camera angle? Well, Jake, they're covering the event. No, we're looking at a fucking street. We're just looking at the street. Why? Why are we looking at the street? Why?
the person was not in any FBI holding, so that's important to know that at least he didn't pop up on their radar anywhere.
I have a friend who.
If it's important enough to have this expensive piece of equipment there on location, this is the shot we're going to get.
Who works in this building, and she says it's like many others out there where you enter the lobby, you need a key to go through the turnstile, and then need a key to get to the floors, the separate floors when you enter them after you exit the elevator.
Okay, we got some guys running. Okay, let's officially log this into our evidence. We got some guys running.
I'm
Not even really running, more like lightly jogging.
I'm sure that many people can relate to that very scenario, not just in New York City.
Not even really lightly jogging. Let's just call it fast walking. All right, we got some grainy footage of some maybe cops fast walking. Okay.
But across the country, do you think that as a result of this shooting, that office buildings will change?
Slow motion fast walking. Why are we watching slow motion fast walking? Maybe cops.
Their basic security because of this?
Well, we saw in some
I'm glad they showed us that clip.
of the pictures on social media, the barricading that office members did in some of those offices there. They put couches, everything they could find. You see the photo right there on your screen. They barricaded themselves into the door and make themselves a harder target.
Look, guys. Look what they did. They're so smart. These people who work at this office, they're so smart. They know that if a person was to come in with a firearm, that what you're going to want to do is put all the furniture up against the wall, or the door, so that that guy can't get in and harm you. And you know why? You know why they know that? They were trained. They were trained in an active training drill where they practice this sort of thing beforehand. So they knew what to do, you guys. So they prepared for if a man came in with a firearm, they knew to stack the furniture like that. Isn't that smart to train all the employees to stack furniture in the office just in case some guy shows up wanting to do the unspeakable evil? Isn't that such a smart thing to do, to train your employees to do this? I'm sure it doesn't mess with their mind psychologically at all. I'm sure it doesn't psychologically screw up an individual to train them for this sort of situation. And you guys, I'm having to do my show in a comedic manner where I am let me just read this super chat. Doxological Thinker says, what I was about to say is, I'm having to do this in a sarcastic manner, even though it kind of disgusts me and it angers me for real. All right. Doxological Thinker says, you are telling way too much truth, Jake. Time for a comedy break. That's why I'm being super sarcastic. I can't tell you the straight, honest to God truth here because it could totally be used to take down the video. So I have to bring it to you in a comedic, sarcastic way so that they have a lot more trouble doing that. All right. How about Aaron Haywood exposing Trump shape-shifting as Elvis? All right. Aaron Haywood exposing Trump shape-shifting as Elvis. All right. So right now, I've uncovered one of the greatest pieces of evidence of all. I've actually got Trump shape-shifting from Elvis to Trump and back again. And this is going to prove once and for all this world is run by shape-shifting icons. They aren't using masks. They aren't using AI and CGI. They're bloody shape-shifting reptilian icons, by golly. That's what's going on. All right, nobody knows this. I'm in secret. I'm here in front of my mirror. Donald J. Dick Trump looking in the mirror. Nobody knows this but me. And right now, I'm going to do a shapeshift into my alter ego. Nobody's around. Nobody's here to see this. There are no cameras watching me right now. I am tucked away in my bedroom, in my home in Mar-a-Lago. Nobody's going to see this. I'm about to transform into my alter ego. Right now. I'm transforming into my alter ego. And nobody knows that I am the greatest singer who ever freaking lived. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I am the king of rock and roll, and I'm also the president of the United States, and nobody knows it. I've been shifting gears, shifting back and forth, in private in my own bedroom. There you go. There you go. I don't even know how I just fucking did that. I think I am some sort of magical friggin' shapeshifter, man. That was weird. It's fucking weird, dude. Go try and ask another man to do that and see what they do. And then compare it to what I did. And then ask yourself, who is funnier? Do it. Go ask another man to do that here on YouTube. Go ask any man to do that here on YouTube. And let's see what they do. Let's see if it compares to what I just did off the top of my fucking head. Oh, too much ego. Yep, too much ego, because I know I'm the funniest dude in the fucking world. That's why I got too much ego, because I actually know for a fact I'm the funniest person in the world. That's why I have too much ego, you guys. It's kind of fucked up. Holy wiener balls. Did I just get that big of a super chat donation? Wow. Holy wiener balls indeed. Angel Arnie. Hope that's how you pronounce it. Angel Arnie 5832. With a massive donation here. That might be the biggest super chat I may have ever had. Holy cow. Says, happy late birthday. Hope your trip with your dad goes well soon. Thanks for the camera tips. I tried to order one. Yes, that is the next plan. So I got the camera in hand. I got new tires for my van. That was another thing I needed to get done. I had to get some stuff done for my van because there's some roads I want to go down over by the coast that are sketchy, dirt roads, rocky roads. And my van's not really meant for that sort of stuff. And my tires were bald. So I needed some new tires before I was going to go on this trip. And if I want to get some footage over on the Lost Coast, there's some roads I got to go down that are a bit sketchy. So yeah, I got the camera, got new tires. All I got to do now is get the van cleaned out, packed up, and then head out. So I was thinking after tonight, that's next on the list is clean up the van, get it all packed up. And I'm thinking I want to make some content out of like, how I, like what my van setup is like, stuff like that. Because van content is pretty popular right now. More people are being forced into their vehicles. Inflation causing people to go homeless and people are living out of their vehicles. So I'm hoping that I can even make some van content out of the trip and get the footage of me trying to wake up my dad. And hopefully I can make several different videos out of it. So lots of new content coming on this channel. And it just so happens me looking into the camera saying that I'm not sad that celebrities died blew up and got way more views than I was expecting. So a lot of good stuff's been going on with the channel lately. So that's good. Good times. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this very, very generous super chat. Angel Arnie, you are like an angel sent from above, Arnie. And you are indeed making my birthday happy, even though my birthday is, over days ago. You're helping me have that birthday lingering feeling. So happy birthday to me again. All right. Wow. Holy shit. Whoa. Seriously. Thank you very much. All right, let me make sure I'm all caught up on these super chats, and then I'll get back to the this news story here before we forget. Sometimes I start talking about all this other stuff going on, and then I forget that I'm breaking down some news clip. Hillbilly Hank says, Hank the Hillbillies is my band. Or Hank and the Hillbillies. Go check out Hank and the Hillbillies. It's his band. And this is Hank the Hillbilly. The actual Hillbilly Hank. So go check out his band. All right. We're caught up on super chats. Let's get back to breaking this shiznit down right here. Here you guys go. Check it out. They stacked up the furniture to keep the guy out of the office. Very smart, right? You know why? It's because they were trained to do that.
That's super important in any type of situation. They apparently that could be evident of some training that some of the companies do now. It's important to be aware of your surroundings and don't hesitate to take action. Even if this would have been something that wasn't, at least you would have been safe. In this case, it turned out they needed to do that.
It looks like the message is getting through. At least there is some time.
All right. Here we go. Check it out. Bingo. Cops kneeling. Do we see the cops getting shot at? Do we see any bullet holes? No. Just some cops kneeling. Furniture stacked. 666. If you really look at what they show you, they don't show you much, do they? That's what I love about the mainstream media. They're supposed to be the authority. The ones with all the facts and details that we're supposed to trust. Show it to me. Show me the evidence. Oh, well, here's some cop cars. Here's some cops kneeling. Here's some cops standing around. Here's a close-up of some caution tape. Oh, here's some grainy footage of some maybe cops fast walking. Here's those same cops fast walking in slow motion. That's what we watched. If you really break it down, how dare you, Jake? Are you saying that the news is lying? Yeah, I'm just looking at what they're showing us, and what they showed us was not much of anything. Bellzy0070 said they did that the day before door. They did that the day before door? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about there, Bellzy. Does anyone know what Bellzy's talking about? The day before door? They did that the day before door. All right. Let's watch another clip and see what other details we can get from this event. And then we can move on to the Reno dealie. The Reno dealie, dude. Because there was 2 bang bang pow pow events in the same day. All this senseless gun violence. So senseless.
Learning more about those victims. Among the dead, an NYPD officer, a Blackstone executive, a security guard, a 27-year-old woman. Another man who is 41 years old is in critical but stable condition.
MSNBC investigative correspondent Mark Santia.
Door was a typo. Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
Joins us now from the scene. Mark, we are now hearing the gunman was an employee at a Las Vegas casino. What more have you learned about him and his motive?
You guys, NFL player, and he was an employee at a casino. Las Vegas. You know, the place where you bet on NFL games, right? And then it became global to where anyone can bet anytime on an NFL game, right? And here you got the guy from Las Vegas, and former NFL player. He got brain injuries because he was in the NFL, and he's angry. He wrote a note. He's got a history of mental illness, drove across the country, went to the NFL's office, and did the unthinkable.
Yeah, we've learned the 27-year-old gunman was a surveillance department employee at the Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas. Officials tell us the NYPD has been able to retrace his movements before the shooting.
3-page suicide note. You know, the thing about people who are deranged and mentally ill who do this sort of thing, they always like to make sure, more often than not always, but more often than not, they like to make sure to have a detailed manifesto to let the authorities know exactly why they chose to do this totally evil, nasty, senseless thing that they chose to do. So it's awesome that the police are able to tell us so quickly that they know exactly why the suspect did what he did and felt the way he felt, because he wrote down exactly how he felt on a piece of paper. And he made sure to put that in a place where the authorities could easily find, so that they could turn around and educate all of us and tell us what's going on in record time. We don't want to have to wait 2 or 3 days for these details. We need this stuff as soon as possible, right? This is some juicy info that's very pertinent and important to our lives.
The 27-year-old drove his BMW from Las Vegas, Nevada to New York City. Last night, he double parked his car right here on Park Avenue around 6:30 last night in the middle of a bustling midtown. He walked into the building and immediately opened fire.
Just drove a car across the country. He knew which building to go to, and he knew which people he wanted to go after because he's so mentally ill. And he also wrote a note about it. Yeah. So they have all the facts. There's nothing here to dispute.
He is believed, we're told, to have fired more than 50 times in the lobby as well as on the 33rd floor. Investigators found a handwritten 3-page note in the gunman's wallet. We have seen that note. The gunman expressed anger, alleging that his mental illness may have been linked to having played football earlier in his life while in high school.
He was mentally ill, which caused him to play football earlier in high school? What?
We have seen that note. The gunman expressed anger, alleging that his mental illness may have been linked to having played football earlier in his life while in high school.
So mental illness caused him to play football? Did I hear that correctly? Did they just fucking say that mental illness caused him to play football earlier in high school? I'm pretty sure I backed it up and that's what it said. What the fuck does that mean? He was mentally ill, so he played a team sport? You guys, I've played football in high school, and it's not a sport that like actual mentally ill people play. To, show up to practice and do the drills and have the coordination to play that sport and do it well and have the coach, put you in and want you there to play. It's not really something that mentally ill people excel at. So I guess this was a very special and talented mentally ill man. And one ballers 36 says, if space isn't real, why do we see a sun, moon, and stars? So you seeing a twinkly thing that you're told is a star doesn't mean that outer space is real. I say outer space is fake, and then I go on to say that the place where you start floating that they describe as outer space, that's fake. I never said that there's no such thing as stars or that there's no sun or no moon. There is stars, there is a sun, and there is a moon, but they aren't what they told you. So the twinkly things, mainstream science will claim that those are suns, like the sun that we have, except they're really, really, really far away, like millions of miles, hundreds of millions of miles, and light years away. But all you see is just a twinkly dot. So I will say that there are twinkly dots in the sky that we call stars, but they aren't burning balls of gas hundreds of millions of miles away. And they aren't the same thing as our sun. Our sun and the other stars are different fucking things. There's only a sun. You see a sun, I see a sun, and then you see the stars, the twinkly things. Those are different fucking things. You're never going to go to any of those other stars and have it look like the sun. Nobody's ever visited any of those other stars and went to any other planets or any other worlds. So when I say outer space doesn't exist, I'm talking about the outer space that they speak about in mainstream science. So, is there a sun that you see? Yes. Is there a moon that you see? Yes. Is there stars that you see? Yes. But none of that stuff is what they tell you it is. There you go.
Investigators now believe he chose this location because the NFL is headquartered here at this building. After shooting 5 people, killing 4, and seriously injuring another person, the gunman shot himself in the chest, taking his own life. Now, those notes, the 3-page note.
Shot himself in the chest. So he turned that big old rifle around and shot himself in the chest.
The note was recovered by investigators. Investigators say the gunman asked that his brain be studied because he believed he may have suffered a brain injury due to head trauma from playing football.
He shot himself in the chest because he wanted his brain to be studied. So he's mentally ill, played football, worked at a casino, drove from Vegas to New York City, went to the 33rd floor, shot himself in the chest, and he left a note saying exactly why he did it. And he wants his brain to be studied. There you have it, folks. I believe we have all the details.
Again, back in high school, one quote said, quote, "Please study brain for CTE." When we examined those notes, he also included his...
Please study my brain, bruh. In his wallet was a note, and it simply stated, "Study my brain, bruh."
Computer password. Investigators and law enforcement sources believe he wants investigators to take a deeper look into his past, and that right now is the scene here.
Rose coming in with a good one. His brain matter. Yo, this man right here, him's brain, it matter, yo. Cause he used to play football, and he got CTE and shit playing football, yo. And so this motherfucker drove across the country, right? And he had like a history of mental illness and shit. And he like went up the elevator and shit, and he like started firing at people and whatnot. And it was because he got like CTE and shit from playing football and stuff. And I know that because he wrote that and he put that in his wallet. And then when the cops found him, they found that he shot himself in the chest, and they read the note and it said, "Study my brain. I'm mad because I play football because I got brain injuries, bruh." That's how you know some fucked up shit going on, man. Yeah. I was trying to work with the NFL, but they wasn't trying to work with me. So I was like, fuck that. I ain't trying to work with them. Man, I'm like a free thinker. I went on Oprah and I was like trying to tell the truth. And she wasn't even trying to hear me out. I got blackballed by Oprah. Man, I'm like, fuck that. Hell nah. So I was like, yo, nah, fuck that. And they was like, what? And I was like, yeah. There you go. It's a little bit of Ice Cube for that ass.
Your police do believe he acted alone. Back to you.
One of the things that I find just so harrowing are the stories we're learning about how this unfolded. We've heard reports of a woman that he was coming out of an elevator that, of course, he did let go. What about the victims? How are their loved ones responding? Have they said anything?
Yeah, 2 women and 2 men were killed here inside this building. Some family members are beginning to speak out, others understandably asking for privacy. You know, several companies are housed here, are located here, including Blackstone. They confirmed one of their executives were killed. They sent out a statement that says, quote, "We are heartbroken to share that our colleague, Wesley LePatner, was among those who lost their lives in the tragic incident at 345 Park Avenue. Words cannot express the devastation we feel. Wesley was a beloved member of the Blackstone family and will be sorely missed. She was brilliant, passionate, warm, generous, and deeply respected with our firm and beyond. She embodied the best of Blackstone." Reporting live from here in front of the building. We're going to send it back to you. Just also an update. This building not open to the public. It is still an active crime scene. We'll send it back to you.
Mark, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Yep. All right. So there you go. Oh. Ralph. Ralph. Come on, Ralph. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, Ralph. Come on. Yep, yep, yep. All right. Gimli G says, please do Roseanne Barr trying to convince archaic Jason to get off his slots and staple Steven's sack to his seat because it keeps falling off. Well, that is quite a detailed comedic suggestion. Roseanne Barr trying to convince archaics to get off his slots and staple Stephen Hawking's sack to his seat. Wow. Okay, let's see what we can do with this.
Greetings, Earthlings! Greeting to all the Nephilims! Greeting to all the Anunnaki and all the life forms watching right now! I'd like to tell archaics to get the fuck off of slot machines. Your slot methods are not fooling anybody, buddy. Nobody wins at slot machines, you fucking loser. Why are you trying to rip people off and get them to go to Las Vegas? Why are you trying to get people to lose their fucking money? Nobody's going to Las Vegas right now because nobody can fucking afford it because of fucking inflation and all the commies. Everybody know Trump's trying to stop the commies. Fucking Jason wants you to go lose your fucking money in Las Vegas. What he should be doing is trying to staple Stephen Hawking's sack to his seat. Fucking Stephen Hawking's about to fall off of his seat and it's bullshit. Needs his goddamn ball sack stapled to his seat by the Anunnaki and the other life forms.
There you go. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Out of all the men in the world, I think I might do the best Roseanne impression. In fact, I think my Roseanne impression is so good, I might start doing my own Roseanne show to compete with Roseanne so that people have a choice whether they want to watch her or my version of Roseanne. I think if I went head to head, me just
doing my entire show like this, and I start my own program where I just pretend to be fucking Roseanne.
And then like I just compete with her, try and steal her audience.
I wonder what she would think if I started doing that. I wonder if I would ruin her fucking career that's already in the fucking toilet.
All right. I know it's better than Roseanne. That's why I came up with the idea to do my own Roseanne program and compete with her. Imagine if she saw me doing that and she's like,
what the fuck is this? There's some fucking white guy pretending to be me? Let's sue this motherfucker. Nobody does this to me.
there you go. Looks like I missed a few super chats that came in before that. My bad. Let me go back and get those. Every once in a while, I get carried away, doing a bit. 5 minutes rolls by, 10 minutes rolls by, and then I realize a few people sent in super chats a while ago, and I totally missed it. So I'm going back right now, scrolling back to get these super chats. 1 second. All right, there was this one right here. A 3-page note, by the way. Yeah, totally not scripted. Because that's what mentally ill people do, bro. They write notes about how they're upset about being mentally ill just before they go do the unthinkable. Oh, after they drive across the country. A mentally ill person who drove and obeyed traffic laws all the way from Las Vegas to New York. Doxological Thinker said, but this guy did football drills and other kind of drill too. So check it out. You guys, the NFL is pretend football. It's entertainment. So they're not really playing real football in the NFL. And there's cases where the NFL will have a news story that transcends the sport on the field and becomes like a mainstream story across America. For instance, anyone remember Damar Hamlin? The Damar Hamlin story? So all you have to do is have a guy take a hit and then lay down on the field and pretend to be dead or hurt real bad, right? Just pretend to be passed out. And then make a big deal about how, oh my God, he's in a coma and he might not live. And everybody give your thoughts and prayers to Damar. Remember? We love you, Damar! We really hope that Damar Hamlin survives. Oh my God, Damar Hamlin's gonna get to come back and play football. Oh, Damar Hamlin, we love you, right? So they have people who don't even know who Damar Hamlin was or what position he played. People who don't even care about the Buffalo Bills were like, we love you, Damar, and you're in our thoughts and prayers, Damar. We're praying to Lord Jesus for Damar to get healthy, right? Like the NFL can trick motherfuckers into feeling a certain way, and all they have to do is have one of their players just lay down and pretend to be hurt. Meanwhile, they tricked all of the right-wing conspiracy theorists into saying that Damar went down because of the jab. He took the jab, and that's why he went down on the field. There was even some people saying Damar died because of the jab. Meanwhile, there was one guy who's like, hey, the whole thing's staged. They just have a dude lay down on the field, pretend to be hurt, and then make a huge deal out of it, and it's a media extravaganza, and all they had to do was just have a dude lay down, right? So guys, if they're willing to trick America and trick everyone with this DeMar story, the NFL and the news gonna do business with each other, right? And push this DeMar Hamlin shit, tug on your heartstrings. This is just another version of that, except taking it a step further, right? So now they're going to tug on your heartstrings in a different way. Now you got the NFL working hand in hand with law enforcement and the news, tugging on your heartstrings in this whole other way. Doxological Thinker says, I wonder if DeMar left a note too. That's how they knew it was commotio chorditis or whatever. It was commotio chorditis. It is very serious. It is too much CTE. And when you get to the brain and with the concussion, that's when you get the commotio chorditis. You need to get the concoction. I recommend that everyone get the chemical concoction. You need to get pumped up. You have your freedom. Everyone has their freedom. But screw your freedom. If you don't have freedom, then you might get commotio chorditis. All right. So yeah, guys, the DeMar Hamlin thing, they were tricking people into thinking DeMar was about to die. And the news was running with it. They had billboards and shit, right? People who didn't even follow the bills, old grandmas, like, we're praying for DeMar Hamburger or whatever his name is. We love you, DeMar. So the NFL has no problem with tricking the fuck out of its fans. Hell, the injuries are fucking scripted. Like when Aaron Rodgers a couple seasons ago went down on game 1 with the Jets. He just sat down and was like, I'm hurt. Owie. That's all they got to do. All they got to do is point at any player and be like, you, down now. Oh, I'm injured for the rest of the season. See my boo-boo right there? Yeah, I tore the ligament inside there. Got me a boo-boo, can't play no more till next season. Oh, too many people betting on a certain team? Well, guess what? Now the quarterback's hurt for 3 weeks to get you to stop betting on that team. So we're talking about a league that will throw injuries at you just to fuck with the way you bet your money. Yeah. They'll influence you psychologically to make a bet because a certain player's hurt and you think the other team will now win. Like, oh, Aaron Rodgers just went down. So that means the Buffalo Bills are going to win because Aaron Rodgers just went down. They can influence you with an injury. And the player doesn't even have to really be injured at all or even be that good at pretending to be injured. All they have to do is have a player be like, I'm hurt for the season. Ow! And then you'll have people be like, I watched his tendon snap on camera. And then they have the doctor, the NFL doctor guy, go on camera. You can see right here during the replay, Aaron Rodgers' leg, his tendon snapped. You can see the footage right here. Oh. So I'm supposed to, take this story as seriously as Aaron Rodgers going down and DeMar Hamlin. And I do. I take it just as seriously as those things. All right. You guys want to move on to the Reno stuff? I've got a question from N1 Ballers. N1 Ballers says, what's beyond the sky are scientists stage actors? So first question, I've never been beyond the sky, so I couldn't tell you what's beyond the sky. That's like asking me what's underneath the earth. Well, we're told that you can go down about like 8 miles, that you can dig. The most they've ever dug is 8 miles. So to ask me what's below that, I don't know. I've never been down there. So likewise, I can't tell you what's beyond the sky. I can look at the sky. I can get on an airplane or a hot air balloon and go up there in the sky, but I can't go beyond the sky. So I can't tell you what's beyond the sky. And nobody really can tell you that. So as far as your second one, there are examples of scientists who are actors. Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? So Neil deGrasse Tyson is a world famous astrophysicist who people think is really smart and knows all about the cosmos and outer space. But Neil deGrasse Tyson has never been to outer space to prove any of the theories that he spouts off about. So Neil deGrasse Tyson is an example of an actor who tricks people into thinking that the stuff that he's talking about is happening out there in fake outer space. Another example of a scientist on the world stage would be like Bill Nye the Science Guy. So for years they tricked children with Bill Nye the Science Guy, and they call him a science guy. But what is a science guy? It's just a character who they propped up to trick people into thinking that mainstream science is the mark of an intelligent man. The more you know about mainstream science, the smarter you are. That's how they brainwash you. So they have actors on the world stage who aren't even actual scientists, but they give you the illusion that they are a man of science. And they're anything but. They don't do any real science. All right. So now we can look into the other Bang Bang Pow Pow event. We took a look at that. Now let's check out the one that happened in Reno. And I'll be honest, I haven't really looked into the Reno event, so we're going to explore this and investigate this together. So I heard there's 3 dead, 3 hurt. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, here it is. So check it out. Here's the number, guys. 33 again. What are the odds? You get 3 killed, 3 hurt, and the other New York City one, the guy was on the 33rd floor. Now, anyone who believes all the stories on television, believes everything that comes out of the mainstream media, they're just going to shrug that off. They're going to be like, you're such a weirdo. You need to have respect for their families. Just because this is a 3 and this is a 3 and the other event happened on the 33rd floor, that's just a coincidence, you stupid, crazy weirdo. So don't even point at this and try to make it like there's any connection, because there's not. You hear me? Anyone trying to make a connection between these 3s and the other 33rd floor, there is no connection, you freaking weirdos. So don't do it. Okay, my bad, I won't. I'm sorry. Sorry for being a freaking weirdo and trying to make a connection from the 33rd floor to these 3 killed, 3 hurt. There is no connection. I'm just a freaking weirdo trying to make a connection that's not there. I'm sorry. My bad. Let's go ahead and watch this news story and set the record straight, you guys. Oh, look, the news story says 6 shot, 3 killed. Hey, 6, 3, 3 6s, 666. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing it again. Stop it. Stop it, Jake. Stop it. The numbers don't matter. It's all a big coincidence. Nothing's scripted.
We know right now, just before 7:30 this morning, hotel guests heard several shots coming from the valet area of the resort. Witnesses say that's when people started running, and investigators say the Reno Police Department arrived on scene within 2.5 minutes of that shooting. They found the suspect, and there was a shooting involving police. They say that suspect is now in custody and has been taken to the hospital.
So check it out, guys. I've been to Reno many times, way more times than I've been to Las Vegas. I've been to Grand Sierra Resort many times. I have beaten that casino many times. I watched Blue Oyster Cult play a concert in the parking lot of this casino. So this is a case where I am very familiar with not only the town, but this actual location. That's pretty rare.
We do have videos from the area as people actually watch the scene from their hotel. Here's the latest update that we learned from this news conference. We now know that 6 people were shot at the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno. Sadly, we have learned that 3 people are dead, 2 people still in critical condition as we speak. We do know that miraculously 1 person has been released from the hospital. We're told there is no connection between the suspect and...
So look at this shot. So we got these guys standing around, and then we got these people standing around. So we got to get the shots of people standing around. What about the, this event that went down? Do we have any video of someone opening fire and then bodies hitting the floor? I want to see the bodies hitting the floor. 1, nothing wrong with me. 2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing wrong with me. 4, nothing wrong with me. 1, something got to give. 2, something got to give. 3, something got to give. No! Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Sorry. Can't help myself sometimes. I just want to see the bodies hitting the floor, man. I want to see actual footage of some bodies hitting the floor. Does anyone got any footage of any of the bodies hitting the floor? No? Okay, let's just show these people. I guess there is no footage of the bodies hitting the floor. So instead, just show these random people standing here. Let's get a good shot of these random folks standing around next to the caution tape. Let's show this to America. Look, America! Look at them people standing there.
Person has been released from the hospital. We're told there is no connection between the suspect and the victims, and the motive is still unclear because it's just so early in the investigation right now. There are the videos that people shot from their hotel room as this scene was unfolding. Now, we do have a live reporter there on scene who's been working to gather information. So I want to go out to our Becca Habegger. And Becca, I understand that at least 1 officer was also injured, perhaps from glass fragments, they were saying.
Yeah, Chris, the law enforcement officials here today said it's incredible and wonderful that not more people were injured in this incident, especially the law enforcement.
Becca Habegger. Becca Habegger. Look at this Becca Habegger burger. That's a funny name. Becca Habegger.
Enforcement officers who responded within minutes. They say it's incredible that only 1 officer was hurt. And as you said, yes, they believe it might have been from a glass shrapnel from the back and forth fire exchange between the suspect and officers. So only 1 officer injured. As you mentioned, there are altogether 6 who were injured. 3 are deceased. 2 are in critical condition. 1 has been released from the hospital. That is a bright spot in all of this. That's one of the injured is released. The suspect himself is in critical condition right now. They were not taking questions. I tried to ask if any of the victims are employees of the casino. They did not acknowledge or answer my questions. They walked out of the room when they were done with the news conference. We did hear from the Reno mayor today, Hillary Sheevy. She said she is so grateful for the quick response of first responders. All of these law enforcement officers and leaders said that it really came down to the as I said, quick response of these officers. That's the reason why there were not more victims in this case. Although, of course, as you mentioned, 6 victims altogether, 3 deceased, 2 in critical condition, 1 released from the hospital. We learned today that also the shooter's handgun malfunctioned. So law enforcement officers were called to the casino around 7:25 this morning. That's when they heard the active shooter call. They responded. They immediately were met with the shooter, and the shooter's handgun malfunctioned, but then the shooter was able to get his gun to work and shot 5 people in the valet area. From there, he ran to the parking lot area, shot another person there. The person shot in the parking lot, and 2 of the people in the valet area are among those deceased. Right now, as you said, Chris, there is no known motive, no known connection between the suspect and the victims. The officials here say that they will be releasing the names of victims in coming weeks and ask for the community's patience as they continue on with this investigation. But bottom line, Chris, they say there's no ongoing threat to the community at this time. So, of course, ABC 10 News will have the latest for you on this investigation tonight at 5, 6, 6:30, and then 11 o'clock. And we'll continue following this sad story here in Reno. For now, live in Reno, I'm Becca Habiger for ABC 10 News.
There you have it. Tons of evidence. Tons of evidence. So much evidence of an event. All right. All right, one sec. Let me go back and get a few super chats that I missed. All right. I can't go through my email right now, Holden. I'm live. So I don't want to stop what I'm doing and go through my email. Here's the thing, Holden. That guy who you had me do an impression of is some random nobody who nobody knows anything about and nobody cares. And it was an old video from 2020. So you're wanting me to do an impression of a guy that nobody knows from 2020 making a football pick from a long time ago. Just so you know, buddy, nobody cares. I'll send you back your $2. I don't want to watch that guy pick the Lions or talk about football back in 2020. I just don't want to do it. So I'll either do a different impression for you or I'll send you back your $2, Holden. But I cannot and I will not go look at that guy that nobody cares about and talk about his Lions pick from 5 years ago. Okay? I can't bring myself to do it. So your choice, buddy. You got to remember, buddy, I'm running a live show. So if I talk about somebody who nobody knows except for you about a football pick from 5 years ago, you have to ask yourself, out of everyone watching, who's going to know and who's going to give a fuck besides you? Holden's a good kid, but every once in a while, he needs to be told how it is. He gets it. He understands. You know what I like about him? He knows when I'm right. Holden, come up with something that like people know about, like something that you like, a funny voice you know I can do, or an idea, you know. Just come up with some other comedic idea for me to do, and I'll do that. Or I'll PayPal you $2 back, okay? All right. So the Reno thing, they didn't show us much, did they? Got some clips from the parking lot. They didn't even show us any cops fast walking in slow motion. So we got less information, less details, less evidence for that event than we did the New York event. And that's kind of overshadowed by the New York event because that one has a football player and a manifesto, right? But they both have that number 33 conveniently connected. How about it? How about it? Huh? All right, now you got something, Holden. Now we got something that people will actually recognize and appreciate.
Today we're going to be having a guest on the Roseanne show. He's a bit irrelevant, and right now he can't get any views, so he's been scheduled to come on my show so that maybe you guys will start watching his channel that nobody wants to fucking watch anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the former flat earther, and now he's a globe cock, and he went to Antarctica with Will Duffy. Please give it up for the one and only Jaron Campanella. Jaron Campanella, everyone.
Oh, thanks, Roseanne. Thanks for having me here. So, yeah, I'm not getting any views anymore because I'm honest. And I told people what I honestly saw in Antarctica. And I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed that I was a flat earther for 10 years and I was wrong. And now that I'm telling people about what I saw, nobody wants to watch me. So that's why I'm here. So I can tell people that I'm always honest. I'm Jaron, you guys, and I'm always honest. I went to Antarctica and I saw the sun do a 360. So therefore, the earth cannot be flat. And also, Katy Perry went to space. If you don't think Katy Perry went to space, you are retarded. You guys, the moon landing is real. I used to think that the moon landing was fake, but the moon landing is real. If you don't think the moon landing is real, you are retarded.
That's what I've been saying. I've been trying to tell all different life forms that they're retarded. I've been trying to tell people about the Anunnaki and the Nephilims. We like to talk about truth. I had the one and only Alex Jones on my show, and everybody knows Alex Jones is like fucking God, and he doesn't speak any bullshit. Have you ever met Alex Jones?
No, I'm Jaron, but one day I hope to meet Alex Jones. And I want to tell him all about how I used to be a flat earther. And I always tell the truth, you guys. I'm always honest. I'm always honest, you guys. My wife is not a whore, but she did cheat on me. She cheated on me with my best friend in my bed. And then she lied about it. You guys, my wife is not a whore. All right? I'm Jaron. I'm always honest.
All right. There you go. There you go. Wasn't that better, Holden? Wasn't that a better idea than me talking about some random dude who nobody knows making a football pick? See? Much better comedic suggestion. And Jaron is the type of douche who would go on Roseanne's show if she asked. And he'd be all happy to do it. That would probably be the best thing that happened to Jaron, as if Roseanne let him on her show right now. Yeah, Jaron's went down the fucking toilet bowl. Nobody's watching Jaron anymore. And I know it really upsets him to see all the people still here watching me. Speaking of, any haters out there who don't like me or disagree with anything I have to say about any subject, put your face on camera and explain, showing your face, using your own mouth. Articulate how you feel about me. If you feel that I'm wrong, or that I'm a bad guy, or that I'm a shill, put yourself on camera saying that. Give your name and show your face. Here's the thing. There's men with sock accounts who will talk a bunch of shit on my channel, talk a bunch of shit about me, slander me. But if I ask them to show their face and articulate how they feel on camera, they're too fucking chicken shit to do it. Think about that. No man who opposes me
is man enough to put himself on camera and say to the world that he opposes me? Open challenge right here, right now, to anyone, anywhere. If you oppose me in any way, shape, or form, if you think anything I'm doing is wrong or bad or evil, whatever it is, put your fucking face on camera and articulate it to the world. I dare you. Now watch. None of the shill bitches are going to take that challenge. None of them. Because they're scared shitless to look into the camera lens and say, I think Jake Gibson is a bad, evil guy. Because, and then list some examples and show some proof. Anyone out there who opposes me in any way, shape, or form, I dare you to put your fucking ugly mug on camera and say so. I double dog dare you, bitch. Guess what? None of them chicken shit shills will dare do it. You know what they will do? They'll go get in their sock account and talk a bunch of shit to me through their little sock account without their picture. Yeah. Lots of channels can easily slander me without showing their face or giving their name. But when I dare them to fucking show their face and say a goddamn thing about me, oh, suddenly there's not really any men in the world who want to do that. Very few men in the world stick their goddamn face on camera and say a fucking word about me. So yeah, there's people out there who want to talk some shit, and they'll even go as far as to use artificial intelligence to slander me. But you know what they won't do? Stick their fucking face on camera and explain from the heart exactly why you feel that way. I dare ya. So, any man who does that, I will gladly respond to that man. Any man who doesn't do that, you don't exist to me, bitch. Anyone using a sock account to attack me, you're not a real man. You don't even fucking exist. So I don't have to acknowledge you. That's right. And any man slandering me, backstabbing me, is dead to me and no longer exists. Any man who wants to exist and oppose me, stick your goddamn face on camera. Articulate it like a real man, like I've been doing for 10 years. You guys want to see what an alpha looks like? You want to see the real alpha dog? I don't have to go to the gym. I don't have to have big muscles. I don't have to be a big bad dude. I am the alpha, challenging any man. Stick your face on camera and oppose me if you dare. Yep. Entire accounts built around slandering me. But they won't put their face on camera and say anything because they're chicken shit bitches. Have fun being a sock account using slandering bitch, wasting your life stalking my channel. I'll be busy winning. Just kidding. Or am I? Looks like I missed the super chat. Let me go back and snag it. So easy to have a sock account and talk some shit. A lot harder to stick your face on camera and talk that shit to me.
Damn, where was that super chat? Shit. One sec. Trying to locate this last super chat. There it is. Solver Mist says, let the bodies hit the floor. Thanks, Jake, but this time with more feeling, please. More feeling? One, nothing wrong with me. Two, nothing wrong with me. Three, nothing wrong with me. Four, nothing wrong with me. Five, nothing wrong with me. Six, nothing wrong with me. Seven, nothing wrong with me. Eight, nothing wrong with me. Nine, nothing wrong with me. 10, nothing wrong with me. 11, nothing wrong with me. 12, nothing wrong with me. 13, nothing wrong. Just kidding. Wonder how long I could have kept that up before everybody stopped watching. Oh, yes, poor Ralphie. The poor dog has to sit here in the air-conditioned office and listen to me act like a weirdo for a couple hours. And then he gets to go on 4 walks a day. How many dogs do you know get to go on a walk every day multiple times? Most dogs are stuck inside, and the most outside time they get is when they get to go out in the backyard. My dog goes for 4 walks a day. He's got it made. He can put up with me spouting off for a few hours. Huh. In fact, look. Does it look like Ralph cares? There he is. Look, he's sleeping right there. Well, he's not asleep. He's just chilling right there. Does it look like he's bothered? All right. Yes, I heard about Spinal Tap 2, and then I saw the trailer. Anything that they try and redo many, many years later, it never can recapture the original magic. And it just comes off like a money grab, comes off as like desperation. So sadly, I know if I go watch it, I'll maybe chuckle a few times, maybe, but I'm going to be left with a feeling of, nope. And then another thing I heard that Happy Gilmore 2 is terrible. So I haven't watched Happy Gilmore 2, but just the idea of a Happy Gilmore 2 all these years later, bad idea. You know that's going to be garbage. And so I've heard from somebody who watched it that it was just the most god-awful desecration of the franchise. So, yeah, right now we're watching the decline of everything. Everything that we know of, anything that was good and was great from the past is either gone or in great decline. It's kind of sad. It's like the end of everything is happening right now. Anything attached to entertainment is in decline right now because people don't want to spend money. And inflation is causing people to stop spending money, which is causing tourism to drop, which is causing entertainment, people buying tickets to drop. So the entertainers are starting to feel the pressure, and the advertisers are starting to feel the pressure. So I'm noticing from TV to sports to wrestling to the UFC to boxing, all the different sport, every single thing related to entertainment seems to be in decline right now. Seems like a big money grab. It's almost like there's a big event that's going to happen soon and everything's about to come to an end. And these companies are like trying to grab as much money as they can just before this big event. So I kind of feel like there's some big event that's about to happen, some 2020 level, 9/11 level type event coming again soon. And some shit's going to maybe hit the fan this next time. And so perhaps these celebrities who are in the big club high up the chain are saying their farewells now, because the time's going to come very soon where like the end of this world stage charade is going to come crashing down. You know, they're going to have some big event coming soon. So I feel like we're closing in on something big. It's just what exactly they're going to do, I couldn't tell you. I feel like before Trump leaves office, they're going to do something big. It would be kind of anticlimactic to have him just finish out the next 3 years. So one thing they do with Trump is they get people all pissed off on both sides. The people who defend Trump, they're pissed off at all the libs who are talking shit about Trump. And it's easy to talk shit about Trump right now. You just dangle the Epstein shit in front of people, and they're like, oh, Epstein, release the files. Yeah, who'd you hear about the Epstein? Yeah, Epstein. So everyone's a big tard who wants to believe, like, you know, this fella that the TV told you about, Epstein, like that there's these files that are going to be released, and it's going to be this huge deal. And oh my God, we all have to wait around for these Epstein files. And really, when you tie it back, it's like the TV's the one that roped everyone in with this shit. Why should you care about a guy named Epstein that the TV fucking told you about? That if Donald Trump is being played by AI and imposter characters right now, like are these files really gonna damage the credibility of the man when the man is not even really a guy anymore? You see what I'm saying? If Donald Trump is being played by imposters and AI, what are they going to do? Arrest the imposters and the AI because of Epstein shit that they made up themselves? But everyone's still all over the Epstein shit. I still get comments. Are you going to cover the Epstein files? I'm like, that's just some shit for sheeple. Oh, so you're covering up. You're covering up for Trump in the Epstein stuff. You're covering up for the child trafficking. So just me pointing out that, like, I'm not going to fucking go down this rabbit hole of like what went down on Epstein's island, because I'm not a tard. Oh, well, you're covering up for what went down on Epstein's island. It's like the TV's telling you, are you a fucktard sheeple? If you are, maybe we'll release the Epstein files. Are you a fucktard sheeple? Go ahead. Tell us you're a fucktard, and maybe we'll release the Epstein files. We're fucktards. We're total fucktards. Please give us the files. Say, pretty please give us the files. We're total fucktards. Please give us the files. Say it like you mean it, and maybe we'll give you the files. Meanwhile, I'm like one of the only dudes on the internet that's like, I'm not a fucktard. I don't care about your files. Take your files and shove them up your fucking ass. You can't say take those files and shove them up your ass. You have to care. You have to care, Jake. I don't care. Bunch of made up bullshit. Take them files and shove them up your fucking made up bullshit ass. All right. Eternals Courage says, Jake, love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I finally got my Google fixed so I can super chat again finally. Awesome. I'm totally going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to take it up a notch, and I'm going to do what I've been doing except better. I'm going to do new stuff. So this channel doesn't just repeat the same thing. This channel evolves and grows and becomes a better version of itself. And I'm about to embark on a journey with my new camera and try and capture some beautiful parts of this country. And I have some things I want to talk about on camera, do some heart-to-heart talks with the camera. And I want to try and wake up my dad and get that on camera. And got football season right around the corner, of course. You know, that content is going to come back. So a lot of fun stuff going to be happening. And I'm going to be busy, you know, running this channel, making this certain type of content. So I'm having a fun time doing this, and I don't have any reason to stop. So I'm definitely going to keep doing what I'm doing on this end. So hopefully you keep doing what you're doing on your end. And as long as you keep hooking your boy up like this, I'm going to keep hooking you up with the best content that I can create. Deal? Deal. Yeah, AI Trump is kind of hilarious in a way because like the mouth doesn't quite match the words. He doesn't always pronounce all his words. And then like he'll randomly just like trail off like Joe Biden, but then he'll like say fuck or bullshit to like make the MAGAs think that he's like passionate about his position. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. Mainstream media, you're a bunch of liars. You're a bunch of cowards, all right? You're taking what I say and you're misconstruing what I say. You're ugly and you're cowards. Quite frankly, it's bullshit. AI Trump is here. AI Trump is not queer. AI Trump is here to let everybody know Trumptricity is going to be in all of your homes very soon, powering all of your devices. Once Trumptricity has been implemented, we are going to be saving billions and billions of dollars. You're going to see the deficit erased overnight. Billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars erased. And you know who's going to pay for the whole thing? You're going to love this. You know who's going to finance the whole thing? China. Ooh, this guy's going to say that I'm fake news. Ouch. That hurts, man. Hurts my feelings. Please don't call me fake news, Mr. Sock Account. It really hurts me. And I'm sure it makes all the people watching right now stop trusting me. And it instantly makes me lose my credibility. I'm sure they're all going to come start watching you. Because you're not fake news. Or no, maybe he was talking about Trump. I don't know if he was some sock account talking shit or what. No, I might have made a mistake there. He might have been talking about Trump saying fake news or something. And then I saw him saying you're fake news and took it like an insult towards me or something. I don't know. Sometimes people are kidding around and I totally mistake what they're saying. Hey, you says, can you please, or can you PL, you're awesome. Can you do Roseanne, please?
I've already done Roseanne a few different times tonight, but since you think I'm awesome, I'm going to do it again just for you. Hello, everyone, and thanks for watching. I want to thank you for watching my program. I used to be on television, and I used to do this white trash routine where me and Dan and our kids, we would yell and scream at each other, and we would be all white trashy. We were getting 20 million views a week, and now I'm getting like maybe 20,000 views on YouTube, being a YouTube truth community nuisance. I used to get 20 million views, and now I'm lucky to get 20,000. My career has fallen to the point where now I'm here on YouTube trying to get people to watch me so I can fucking make a living with this bullshit.
Bana, ba, 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 ba. Ba, bana, ba, ba, ba. Bana, ba, 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 bana, na, 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 ba, ba, bana, bana, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. There you go. There's the shortened Roseanne theme. Just for you.
Dan! Get in here, Dan! Dan! You think I'm gonna be a housewife and cook you dinner? Dan! Get in here! Rub my feet, Dan!
Needs more cowbell, right? Did I ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know? I think maybe once or twice, but I didn't get into it. I can't remember a single thing they did, but the title, the show name sounds familiar. So that's probably something I watched once and decided was not for me. That was actually kind of funny. All right. Let me see if I have any other video clips for you guys. We went over the two Bang Bang Pow Pow events. All right. So I'll show you guys one of the spots I was going to be checking out when I go out on my trip to the coast, the northern coast. I'm going to be checking out one of these spots here, Humboldt Bay. So they got these beaches where hardly anyone goes, and the weather's nice and cool and overcast. So like all summer long, it's like 60, 65 degrees. So imagine how hot it is where you live right now. And you can go here and it's 65 degrees all summer long, overcast and nice. So I'm looking forward to ditching the hot ass sun and hanging out in some 65-degree weather. Yeah, see this jetty, how far it goes out into the ocean? That's going to be cool. Walk down that. Anyway. So that's one of the spots I want to go check out when I go on my little vacation here soon. Doxological Thinker says, can you do Neil deGrasse Tyson explaining Magic Floaty Land to Rogan? One of the great things about science is that there's always more to learn. And one of the great things about outer space, there's always more places to go. In fact, the universe may be ever expanding, constantly expanding, creating new horizons. So there's always something new to learn. And that is the magic of science. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see an alien. Show me an alien and I'll lie to my mother. I've always wanted to see an alien. Anyone watching out there? I'll lie to my own mother. I'll sell out right now. Show me an alien. I'll lie to my mother. And that's the wonderful thing about this world we live in. You might actually get an opportunity to not only see an alien, but you'll get to tell everyone all about it because there's so much to learn, and science is the catalyst. Science is the reason that we have this urge inside of us to learn what is unknown. Don't you like how Neil deGrasse Tyson will make a statement that's not even slightly funny, but then he'll laugh at himself as if he just made some funny joke, even though there was no punchline, and he just made a statement. There's nothing humorous about it. He'll crack himself up. Plenty of examples of Neil deGrasse Tyson just cracking himself up after not saying anything remotely funny. All right, you guys want to see me do a Jack Morgan? All right, well, here this is literally every fucking Jack Morgan video. I know what we'll do. We'll go fucking. All right, here we go. Let's do the Jack Morgan bit right here. Again, oops, I gotta share it first, don't I? Maria, we sound good. So I watched this guy's video. He's good. You know, he talks about a lot of stuff. It's like, wow, huh, take a hit, metaphorically speaking. My mom died. I make 6 figures a year. Yeah, I live in my mom's house because she died. I do this for a living. I talk to a camera for a living. Wow. Let's take a hit, metaphorically speaking.
Welcome back. We have our Circle K coffee, and we're just going to hop right into it. Since I've been back in America, and honestly going back for years now, America has changed. It's no longer what it was when I was a kid.
Yeah, totally. It's like crazy. I was just telling my girlfriend the other day, things are changing. Things aren't like they used to. I'm 35 and I make 6 figures a year. I live in a nice house in a nice neighborhood, but it's because my mom died and I got to take the house. And it's expensive. I do this for a living. Wow.
You know, it's not the 90s America. It's not the 80s America. It's not even the 2000s America. America's changed drastically. And some people say it's the start of, the Iraq War. Some people.
Yeah, totally. It's crazy. My dad, before he died, he was addicted to drugs and he had dementia. Sucked. I live in my mom's house. I make 6 figures a year. I do this for a living. Wow, wow. Take a hit. Metaphorically speaking, that is.
We'll say it's, everything's been in decline since the 2008 recession. But in this,
I was just saying the other day to my girlfriend, haven't you noticed like everything's been in decline lately? Yeah. I used to go skateboarding and now I don't because everything's in decline.
This video, I want to talk about 5 reasons why America is going to get worse. And I think that these are more qualitative reasons than just kind of something that can be.
I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I mean, wow, it's crazy. Take a hit, metaphorically speaking. Wow, wow. Good talk. See you in the next video. There you go. Jack Morgan. He does that every day on 2 different channels. And guess what? People fucking love it. They can't get enough. Jack Morgan prints fucking money doing what I just did. If I try and run a channel just doing that, it won't work. I have to do something extra special to get a fraction of the views that Jack Morgan gets. Jack Morgan can pull up any other person's video and just sit there and tell you how he's a professional YouTuber who makes 6 figures a year and he lives in a house that because his mom died and wow, wow, and take a hit metaphorically. And he just repeats that every day on 2 channels. All of his takes are usually just like, wow, that's crazy. I was just telling my girlfriend the same thing the other day. Wow, can you believe this? Huh, so crazy. And apparently people are like, yes, Jack, we love you and agree. Please keep reviewing these videos, Jack. I got sick of Jack after like a month or 2. I was like, dude, fuck you. I'm not going to keep watching this, wasting my life while you make the same goddamn video. So Jack's not a bad guy. I just don't like that type of content. And I'm seeing more and more content creators just do that. Today, we're going to watch someone who sits in their car and talks. And I'm going to talk about someone who sits in their car and talks. And I'm going to give an opinion that any random person can give. My opinion's not special. It's not out of the box. It's not anything you wouldn't hear from anyone else. Wow, wow. Like, why do we need to hear some random guy's opinion that's just an average, regular opinion that any fucking guy could give? But whatever. That's what gets hundreds of thousands of views now. I guess I should try and go steal that format. But if I did, it wouldn't fucking work. You know what's even worse is this fella named Zach Rios. He's even more boring than Jack. And he's like, hi, I'm Zach Rios. People are living in storage units. Let's watch people living in storage units. And then he'll show a clip of someone living in a storage unit talking about how poor they are and how they don't have any other options. And he'll be like, wow, it's so expensive because of inflation that people have to live in storage units. Here's a guy who lives in a storage unit. And then you know what he gets? 500,000 views explaining that someone lives in a storage unit in the most boring way fucking possible. And everyone in the comments section just gushing over this content. Hi, I'm Zach Rios. I'm the most boring robotic person in the world. And I get hundreds of thousands of views just looking at videos and saying, wow, that's crazy. Things are expensive right now. It's expensive to live in the United States right now. Let's look at videos of people who are struggling. Here's a video of a guy who's struggling. I remember what it was like when I used to struggle. This is like the new type of content every fucking content creator wants to make now. Have you seen that guy, Zach Rios? You know what I'm fucking talking about? Oh, God. If you haven't, save yourself the time. Oh, you know what I saw that I did want to show you guys? I just now reminded myself. So apparently, because more and more people are moving into their vehicles, more and more people are having to live out of their vehicle because of poverty reasons, right? So people, instead of living out on the streets, they're like one step above that, they're living out of their vehicle. And so they're starting to pass laws in different places, like outlawing sleeping in your vehicle, outlawing camping, public land. They're like doing away with these camping spaces. So they're basically making homelessness illegal, you guys. There's this one van life chick who like spouted off about it and got a bunch of views. We'll watch a little bit. All right. So this channel right here came across my feed, and it was Truth. They're coming for van lifers. The truth about new anti-van life laws. Check those out.
Right now. In some places, you can't even sleep in your own driveway. And urban camping or being stealth, the risks we're taking by living in our vehicles are literally wagering our entire freedom. And this isn't hypothetical. This is the law. I never set out to make this a political.
All right, before we get into this video, I got a request to do Eric Dubé trying to recruit Zach Rios Gaming. Wow, that is a interesting request. Let's see if I can make it happen. The most important truth in the world is the truth of the flat earth. It is the most important awakening that any human could have. And right now, there are people playing video games. They are submersing themselves in a world that is anything but reality. It is important that we try and wake up these gamers. It is important that you join these gaming communities and you play video games and you try and convert these gamers into being woke flat earthers such as myself. I've been trying to get Zach Rios to join me in getting gamers to wake up and realize the truth of the flat earth. Hi, I'm Zach Rios. I watched a video of Eric Dubé, who's a flat earther, and he wants people to play video games and try and wake people up to the flat earth. Wow, that's crazy. Right now, people would rather play video games than wake up to the flat earth. That is why it is the most important thing, and so you should dedicate your time and energy to playing video games and trying to wake up other video game players to the reality of the flat earth truth. I agree. I'm Zach Rios, and this is how I sound. And I'm Eric Dubé, and this is how I sound. Wow, I kind of sound similar to Eric Dubé. Yes, in fact, Zach Rios and Eric Dubé both have a very boring personality, and they both stare into the screen and read a script. There you go. There you go. Good times.
Channel. I wanted to share the beauty, the freedom, and the resilience of van life, the raw and the real parts. But the more I live this way, on the fringes looking in, the more I realize that more laws are quietly being passed that quietly threaten this lifestyle. And honestly, your rights too. And at this point, it's become impossible to ignore what's going on around us. I'm in Idaho right now, and they just passed a law that bans sleeping in your vehicle on public property. And it's on any public property, statewide. And
banning sleeping in your vehicle. So if you're tired while you're driving and you just want to pull off and take a nap, oh, now it's illegal? So what, you're supposed to keep driving and then fall asleep at the wheel and get in a wreck and hurt somebody instead of pulling off and taking a quick nap? See, now it's getting into a weird, but like, oh, so now I got to worry that some cop's going to fucking bang on the van and arrest me if I take a nap even?
it's not just in Idaho. There's other places where this is happening too. For instance, in Greeley, Colorado, you're only allowed to camp on private property, even with permission, for 7 days a year. 7 days a year, that's a week out of the entire 12 months. On your own property or on a friend's property with permission. That means no backyard sleepovers, no driveway stays when you're helping take care of a sick family member, and no scout troops earning a camping badge. And then San Francisco just passed a law too. You now have to move your RV every 2 hours or risk a fine.
So in the Bay Area, there's these sections where there's RV after RV of people who are poor and they can't afford to go anywhere else. And a lot of them can't even afford to move their RV. So a lot of people get in this position where they like park their RV and that's where they're like staying and living. And then there's all these other RVers. So it's like a community of people in poverty who live in RVs who can't really go anywhere else. And so now San Francisco and Oakland, they're going to pass these laws where you have to move your vehicle every 2 hours. So what that will do is enable the police to come in and tow all those vehicles away, which is then going to take away those people's home, essentially, put them out on the street. So they're making it basically increasingly impossible to avoid losing all your money renting a room or an apartment. So if you can't afford an apartment or to rent a room and you're forced to sleep in your car, now they're going to make that illegal and take that away from you. They're just making it increasingly harder to survive, man. It's like this sick game they're playing where it's like, let's just keep making it increasingly harder. Turn up the difficulty to survive knob. So it's like a survival difficulty knob that the elites are turning up little by little. Donation from Bob Lines. Thank you very much. And I got a super chat says, can you do Mario and Luigi impression fighting Bowser? It's me, Mario. And this is how Mario talk, because I used to play Nintendo 64. And he would say, it's me, Mario. So that means I have to talk like this, how Mario used to talk. Hey, Mario, this is Luigi, and this is how Luigi talks, Mario. Oh, that is a pretty good impression of Luigi. This is Mario, and this is Luigi. And now we're about to fight Bowser. Oh, it's me, Mario, and Luigi, my brother, and we are fighting the Bowser. Rawr! I'm Bowser, and I'm fighting Mario and Luigi. Fucking, because this guy sent me a super chat. There you go. Just for you. Wasn't that the most realistic Mario and Luigi fighting Bowser impression you ever fucking heard in your lifetime's infinity? I think it is. Right.
Unless you were lucky enough to be counted by the city back in May. And that's not even touching the new federal push that allows people who are unhoused or just sleeping in their vehicle to be detained and institutionalized.
Whoa! Detained and institutionalized? What the fuck?
Or just sleeping in their vehicle to be detained and institutionalized. Listen to me, this isn't just about van life anymore. It's about how local and federal powers are willing to control how we live, where we sleep, and what we even do on our land. And here's the thing, I'm not here to influence you about van life. I'm here to tell the truth about it, because I've seen creators out there romanticizing the out of it, sitting in their Pinterest perfect vans, lying through their teeth, pretending this life is all sunrise coffee and cozy sweaters, just so they can flip their used van for way more than it's worth because they put some fancy build in it after they've run it into the ground. And now they're calling it toxic and trying to de-influence van life after making bank off of their curated fantasy. That pisses me off. Why didn't you talk about it while you were living it, Abby? And you deserve the real spectrum of van life, the highs and the lows. And the truth right now is that this lifestyle is under threat. And it's only the beginning. After they come for nomads, they're going to come for your private property.
All right, guys. So put aside, petty stuff like how she looks or whatever. There's a reason why this video on her channel is blowing up. It's because she's speaking to the camera about an issue that a lot of different people are facing. And so this particular video on her channel is got like almost 200,000 views in just a few days. So there's something to this style of video that she's making. And there's other videos on her channel that only get maybe 2,000 or 3,000 views, 4,000 or 5,000 views. So this video got like 20 times more views than any other of the shit she's doing. And then anytime she makes a video like this, it tends to blow up. So something about this style of video is resonating with a lot of people.
If you know of any laws like this where you live, please drop them in the comments. Remember, I'm only one person. I'm juggling content creation, full-time travel in a van, and I'm trying to keep me and my dog safe. But together, we can start paying attention and push back. I'm Bunny. I've been living as a full-time nomad for 12 years now. And lately, it's been getting a lot harder. In just the past few months alone, I've felt the pressure building. I've experienced myself more laws, more harassment, and more fear just for existing in my vehicle. I'm actually in the middle of taking legal action against one of these situations that happened to me recently in this video after they threatened to arrest me illegally, and I caught the whole thing on video.
Yeah. So it wasn't just this video, but she had another one where she was showing that they were bulldozing camping spots. Let me see if I can show you a little piece of that one. This one right here.
Trees.
She shows that they were bulldozing these different camping spots and blocking the roads. So these were like camping spots that a lot of people would go to, and now they've put a bunch of shit and brush and rocks on the spots, and then put up no camping signs.
This is Garland Prairie Road Dispersed Camping in Williams, Arizona. It's about an hour south of the Grand Canyon National Park. This is also known as Forest Road 71. And about a month ago, I came to camp here for a few nights on my way to Flagstaff. But what I found was no camping signs, trees, healthy trees cut down and blocking the campsite roads.
They dragged rocks and dirt all over it so people don't want to camp there. And they've done it in quite a few places back down the road. Let's see how many places they've done it up here.
So what is this? Are they going to give us a straight answer, or are they just going to kick us out of our favorite camp spots that we have every right to use because it's public land? Is it because of ranchers? Is it logging operations and timber harvesting? And
so more and more people are getting put into their vehicles because of poverty, and more people like to travel because they see these videos. And so van lifing is popular amongst travelers. So the fact that they're like closing land where like people have camped for decades, years, and now it's like suddenly they're clamping down on that is bad deal all the way around.
We're getting in the way as campers who don't pay a fee to camp there, while the timber.
And now there are signs you can see through the window here.
Like that shit right there. Like if this was a camp spot and now they have all this shit here and a sign that says no camping. It's like, why? It's like this meadow out in the middle of nowhere. And now all of a sudden they don't want anyone there.
There's signs that they've put up, and they've dragged brush and rocks all over it so that you can't camp there. They actually cut down some trees too. No camping, area closed. All of those are trees that were up. Look, they've cut down so many trees here. And wow, this is all clear cut. This was all forest back there. These are all beautiful, healthy trees.
So yeah, that kind of sucks to see that, they're passing laws to criminalize people living out of their vehicles and taking away public lands. So those are just like a few examples. There's still plenty of land that you can camp on, and still plenty of towns where you can sleep in your vehicle and nobody will mess with you. In fact, I know places where I sleep in my van and no one messes with me. So I still know places where I can go and not deal with these issues. But it seems like the difficulty of survival level knob is being turned up ever so slightly each year, all the time. And then things that we love and enjoy are being taken away from us little by little by little. And then the things that we love and enjoy that are still around are becoming more and more expensive, harder to do, right? So going to the coast, like when I get to the coast, I don't have to have anything to enjoy myself at the ocean. I can just walk around on a nice beach and feel good and enjoy myself just being there. But I have to drive over there. So I have to pay for the gas to get there, the gas to get back, the food while I'm there. And then the closer you get to the ocean, the more expensive the food and the gas is. So even the act of just driving a few hours to go spend the day at the ocean, it's going to cost me a tank of gas minimum, and then food. So it's like $100 day. A tank of gas to go 2 hours to the coast, 2 hours back. That's going to be like $80. And then food for the day. Even if I go cheap, it's going to be like $20 for the day for food. So it's $100 just to go spend a fucking day walking around at the beach. $100 just to go walk around at the beach. And I live in California. Lemming in a shiny metal box says, Sir Jake had some stuff going on down and missed the past couple streams. Pleased to be back this evening, good sir. Hey, thank you for the very generous donation. Glad you could make it. And anytime you guys miss a stream, just go back and watch the replay. Put the speed at like 1.3, 1.5 if you can handle it, and it'll shoot by. And then if there's a section where like I'm rambling on and on about, on some super chat, and if you don't care, just shoot through that section. So the thing is, like, if you just want to watch me break down tonight the Bang Bang events and you don't care about any of this other crap, you could totally just get through the section where I'm breaking down those events in like less than an hour. So I always tell people, if you're going to go back and watch my streams, like on a long car ride, that's a good time to throw on one of my streams. Or like before you go to bed at night, throw me on in the background, right? As you're getting ready to go to sleep, throw on one of my fucking streams and let it play in the background. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to go back and get through my shit without actually spending 3 whole hours, right? So if the stream is 3 hours long, I don't expect you to go back and spend 3 goddamn hours watching it. Just shoot through it. Skip through to the good parts. That's what I would do. In fact, when I go back and watch myself, that is what I do. You can't jack off under a bridge anymore.
Yeah, I know. And it's pissing me off. It's like everything that used to be good is like it's going away, and it sucks. And it's like I'm never gonna score. I used to be able to go under a bridge and spank my monkey, and now it's like I can't even do it.
Yeah. Beavis used to go under the bridge and spank his monkey. And then he got caught by the police and they threw him into juvie. And now he's too scared to spank his monkey underneath the bridge.
Shut up, butthead. No way. That totally didn't happen. You're lying. Quit lying, butthead. I'm going to kick your ass.
Beavis, you can't kick my ass. In fact, Beavis, if you come anywhere near me, I'm going to smack the holy bejesus out of you.
No way.
Beavis, if you come one step near me, I swear to ever-loving Christ, I'm going to kick your ass. All right. Lemming in a shiny metal box. Very, very generous. I appreciate that. Looks like somebody else has a comedic request. I just checked my watch page and it looks like Doxological Thinker has a request. Says, how about Neil converted to flat earth and working for Eric Dubay, explaining how gaming helps show the wonders of flat earth? One of the great things about science is there's always more to learn, and we're never done learning. As long as we're alive, we are capable of learning new information. And one thing I learned was when I tried to go to outer space and prove the theories that I've been talking about, I realized I was wrong. That stuff is flat, man. I went up in a rocket ship with Jeff Bezos, shaped like a phallus. And I looked out the window and I saw the earth was flat as a pancake, and I was wrong. So now I'm dedicating my life to spreading the truth that the earth is flat. And I was wrong all these years, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
So I'm hanging out here with famous flat earther Eric Dubay.
Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm glad you finally woke up to the greatest truth that anyone has ever known. And I'm glad to be the one to wake you up to this wonderful truth of the flat earth. Now, Neil, one of the things that we need to do, and I'm hoping you can help me, is we need to wake up all of the gamers who are still asleep to the greatest truth the flat earth has ever known. These gamers are spending their time in their mother's basement playing video games, submersing themselves in a reality that is anything but real. Neil, it is our duty. It is our duty to wake up these gamers, get them out of their mother's basement and online talking about the flat earth.
Eric, I can't agree anymore. Science is the reason why we're all here, and science is what brought me to the flat earth. So if science has brought me to the truth of the flat earth, well, then of course I want to spend all of my free time trying to wake up people playing video games here on the flat earth.
There you go. That's a fucked up weird thing to try and pull off, but I believe I accomplished it. Go ask another man to do what I just did in their own way. Go ask another man to try and do Neil deGrasse Tyson converted to flat earth working for Eric Dubay explaining how video games shows the wonders of flat earth. Go ask any man alive to do an impression of this, and I guarantee it will not be anywhere near as good as mine. Okay? Does that make me a cocky, egotistical asshole to point out that my impression of this is funnier than any man in the world? You might say so, but it's completely true. My impression of this is better than anyone in the world, and nobody could even come fucking close to what I just did with this. That's right. Woo. Carmageddon says, I play games. I know gamers, most of them don't leave mom's basement and have proclivity to dress up as characters not on Halloween. Yeah, poor guys. You know, I spent a bunch of time playing video games when I was younger, and I remember coming to the realization when I was playing Madden, I was like staying up really late and I was doing franchise mode. So I remember spending hours and hours and hours, countless hours in franchise mode playing Madden. And my thing was back when I was a football fan. So this is years ago. So let's say like 10 years ago or more, maybe 15 years ago. I was a big football fan and I would get into franchise mode on Madden and just spend so many hours making my franchise team as good as they could possibly be. So I got into this whole notion of like, oh, I can run a football team better than the actual owners of real football teams, and I know how to, you know, draft the best players and milk the free agent market and get the best players on my team and fucking use the trading system to my advantage and fucking get rid of these shitty players and get good players. So I would like create like these amazing Madden teams in franchise mode and then fucking, you know, simulate the games and pretend like I'm the owner of a football team. And then after like years of wasting my life doing that, it occurred to me that I'm not really an owner of a football team. I'm not a player on a football team. I'm sitting there wasting my time looking at pixels on a screen, and I'll never get that time back. No girls are impressed by it. I won't make any money doing it. So at that point, I realized I should probably stop fucking doing it. But most guys don't have the that moment. They don't have that wake up moment where they go, fuck, I'm wasting my life. I need to put down this controller. So I was able to come to the conclusion that it was a waste of life and put down the controller. And guess what? I don't play any video games now. I still waste my time doing other stupid shit, like watching YouTube videos here on this platform that are time wasting videos. But one good thing I don't do is I don't get online and submerge myself in a virtual reality video game world, because it sucks hours and hours away from your life and you will not make any money doing it. And most people don't think it's cool. So there's not a lot of people who are like, wow, you play video games all day? So cool. You're so awesome. There's not a lot of women who are like, wow, you're so good at video games. My vagina's so wet for you. Please fuck me, guy who sits in his mom's basement and plays video games all day, right? There's not a whole lot of demand from hot chicks for guys who play video games all day. And I know how it is to get involved in that virtual world where you get enjoyment out of doing this thing that seems like you're accomplishing something, but you don't actually accomplish anything. So at the end of Red Dead Redemption, did you accomplish being a cowboy? No. You accomplish wasting your time pretending to be a virtual reality cowboy in your head, right? Don't get me wrong. I played Red Dead Redemption all the way until the end. So I know what it's like to waste my time being a virtual cowboy. Did it help me in any way, shape, or form? No. No, it did not. So anyone out there, if you're still playing games, this is your wake-up call from me. Stop. Give it up. Go do something else. In fact, you're meant to do something else. You're meant to do something. Do you feel it? Do you feel it inside you that you're meant to do something, but you're not doing it? Do you have this feeling like you were put here on this earth to do a certain thing, but you aren't doing it? Or you haven't figured out what it is, but you know you're supposed to be doing something, but you're unfulfilled because you're not doing that? Find out what that is. Figure out what that is and start doing it. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm doing the thing I was meant to do. I am fulfilling that weird feeling of the thing I need to do by doing this right now. So after when the stream ends, will feel like I'll feel like I accomplished what I was meant to do today. So this is what I was meant to do. And I was put here to tell you that if you haven't figured out what you're meant to do yet, time's ticking, motherfucker. You better figure that shit out. People who don't figure it out end up unhappy. And they die unhappy because they didn't figure out what the fuck they were supposed to do while they were here. So it's up to you to figure out what that thing is that you are supposed to be doing with your time that fulfills you and makes you whole. You're looking at me doing what I am meant to do. And I'm here telling you to figure out that thing you're meant to do. And I know there's somebody watching right now that's like, shit, he's talking to me. Yeah, I am talking to you. In a way, life is a giant video game. So do you want to spend the video game sitting around playing a video game? Like you can play Grand Theft Auto, right? And then get submersed inside some little facet of the game. And it's like you're playing a game within the game, right? Like you're going to bring up your phone and look at your phone as the guy on Grand Theft Auto. So now you're looking at a video game character's phone as if it's your phone, even though you have your own phone to look at. You got to learn how to use your phone in the video game so that your character can effectively use his phone. So yeah. Shit. I don't really have much else for you tonight. We went over the 2 bang bang pow pow situations, and yep, same old shit there. Another day, another psychological operation. 33rd floor. 3 people dead, 3 people hurt. How about that? So, I'm thinking rather than keep going, maybe we'll just call it a night here, and I'll leave you guys wanting more. It's better for me to end the stream with you guys wanting more than for me to go too long and people get bored. So this is probably a good point to cut it off. 2.5 hours. There you go. Truth or Tuesday in the books. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, there's 2 super chats. So before we go, there's 2 super chats to get to before I wrap it up. And then I'll get off here. All right. Looks like somebody wants me to do a Russell Brand impression before we wrap up the show. Rig for Life says Russell Brand explaining how he felt when he lost his virginity. I remember feeling as if I was not only alone, but I was in exclusive inclusivity outside of this feeling which we are all experiencing right now. It was as if I was in an undisclosed underlying outside of this global compromises in which we are experiencing this wonderful thing in which we call life. There was this woman, a woman whom I was extremely attracted to. She was also attracted to me. We were experiencing a physical attraction to each other, simultaneously, incongruitively, bringing us closer and closer together in an undistinguished, undetermined, underlying amount of time that I can no longer exterminate or distinguish between the underlying vertical compromises, while I was trying to figure out exactly how I was going to remove the penis from my pants and insert inside her vagina. I was reluctant to find the dialogical diatribe which I could spew from the underlying indistinguishable linguistical, volatistical vocal extremity in which I possess. If I was able to determine the underlying notion of how this particular female could find this particular man, this particular male within this body, which seems to be also female at the same time, how we could explore this attraction to one another, and we could become one by putting our body parts together to become one indistinguishable person in this moment in time. That was kind of weird, wasn't it? There you go. I think that's how he would explain losing his virginity. All right. Kevin Arnold coming in with a super sticker. Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years. That's right. If you guys remember, Kevin Arnold, he had a crush on Winnie Cooper. Winnie Cooper, she lived across the street for a while, and he was like, Winnie, I saw you talking to that other guy. Do you like that other guy, or do you like me? Kevin, I don't know. Winnie, do you want to be my girlfriend, or do you want to be with that other guy? Kevin, I don't know. That was like almost every episode of the first season of Wonder Years. All right. Then I got another super chat from some guy claiming he's spanking his gorilla. Pull it up right now. Simpy DeSimp says, I'm spanking the gorilla. Good to know, Simpy DeSimp. Everybody right now, picture Simpy DeSimp. Picture what you think he looks like. Now picture him spanking his gorilla. What is it that you picture in your mind? Everyone explain to me right now, if I tell you to picture Simpy DeSimp spanking his gorilla, what exactly is it that you picture? Do you see a man physically spanking an actual gorilla? Do you see a man masturbating? What is it that you see in your head if you picture this? I'm asking you. A gorilla jacking off. Oh, okay. So you're actually picturing a gorilla jerking off. From what I hear, monkeys like to touch themselves. That's like something that monkeys do. Monkeys like to spank their monkey, or so I've been told. Now, do chickens like to choke their chicken? I've never seen any example of a chicken choking its chicken, but I have heard that monkeys do in fact like to spank their own monkey. Do gorillas spank their own gorilla? I don't know. I'd have to do some more research. All right. Good times, good times. All right. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, get something to eat, take my dog for a walk. Thank you guys for hanging out on Truther Tuesday. I will see you guys in the next video or the next stream. In fact, I put out a new video today about time speeding up. So if you haven't watched my new video about time speeding up, right after the stream ends, go watch that video. Give me a like and a share and a subscribe and all that mess. Make sure you got the bell notifications turned on and consider becoming a member for only $2 a month so you can see all my members only content and you can join my members only streams. Yeah. And if you're still here, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. If you're still here, right now, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it. And with that said, have a great night. I love you guys. You're the best audience a YouTuber could ever have. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Much love. Bye-bye.